All right, guys, how was your weekend? I am OGL Schmitt. This is Custom OGT. It is time once again to react to a suggestion from one of our amazing OGTeam members. You too can join the OGTeam. Links are in the description. For as low as $2, you can get access to some really cool exclusive content and suggest reactions for us to do. Elsie, she wanted us to react to, Elevator Operator by Electric Callboy. Elsie is one of our newest signups, and she's putting us through the paces right off the bat. I've heard some songs by Electric Callboy. They seem a lot of fun. I've never heard this one before, so I did some pretty vigorous research on this. The song comes from the album of the same title, released this year, and from what I've read, the song has its ups and downs. So with that being said, Elsie, thank you very much for joining. Thank you for the suggestion, and let's see where this elevator ride leads us.
You heard about a man, the lift controller, the lever king, I told you. Hop in and let the journey begin.
Fate, a shiny face, looking someone for outer space. So full of grace, I just wanna get that up and down. We're moving on around, we're going up and down. We're moving on around.
I wanna show you my world, where the beat goes up and down. Let me open the door. Elevator operator. Like him, I really wanna be like him. I wanna be with him. Forget about that. Heads up in the sky and we keep getting high. Imagine down in this level that you cannot deny.
We're glowing light, we're shining bright. I cannot wait to get inside. Still out of sight, where we wanna go. Up and down, we're moving on around. We're going up and down, we're moving on around.
Look at that face. I'll back it up a little bit to catch the transition, but so first of all, these guys look like they're having so much fun. That's contagious. It's infectious in the best way possible. This metal tends to be really serious, it's especially weird. The dynamics of the song are really cool. It starts off with that beat and the spoken / rapped vocals that give it kind of like an 80s new wave sound almost, and then it goes right into this sort of like heavy riff and harsh vocals. And I'm trying to think of the last time I heard harsh vocals that were fun. Like there was a subversive element to bands like Cannibal Corpse and things like that from the early, I guess the onset or the evolution of harsh vocals, death metal in particular. There was a lot of sort of trying to be as crude and obscene as possible, as sort of like a middle finger to like a lot of right wing censorship and stuff like that. But yeah, like it was still sort of done in character. Cannibal Corpse were never poking fun at themselves in songs, so it's a very unique sound, no doubt. But like the vocals are really well performed. The beat was solid on the spoken vocals. The harsh vocals actually had some meat to them, and dude's falsetto or head voice, nice, light, really pretty. Once again, brought back that 80s new wave feel. So yeah, it's an interesting mishmash of genres. Let's back this up a little bit and keep going.
I wanna show you my world, where the beat goes up and down. Let me open the door. Elevator operator. Elevator operator.
I'm sorry. It's almost done. There's so much going on here. I don't want to pause every 3 seconds. Um, so I'm trying to remember. First of all, they are like Bizarro Rammstein with their sort of mix of metal and electronic elements and their knack for writing catchy melodies and hooks and riffs. But where Rammstein is very dark and even their humor has kind of this dark satirical edge, these guys are just so much so buoyant and so fun. Um, but it's really well composed. Like they've used a couple of like almost silent breaks here to sort of do what Elizabeth from the Charismatic Voice calls an audio reset, where your ears kind of like have to reset. They take all the sound away, so then when it comes back, it's almost like it simulates that feeling that you got when you first heard it. Um, and the melodies on this are really good. Um, I don't know the guys' names. If you want to fill me in on that, anybody, Elsie. Um, but like the guy who's got the really high, clean voice. Like it is really well produced. It's very pretty sounding. There's some processing on it. So the processing on his voice combined with it gives me Lonely Island vibes. I don't know if anyone remembers that band, but it's like the three biggest dorks in the world, but they actually have musical talent. And yeah, these I think their musical talent far out shines Lonely Island, but yeah, it's just so much fun. And but when they were writing it, they clearly took it seriously. I'm gonna back it up maybe just a little bit more here and try to go to the end. Um, yeah, I'm actually like I'm pretty impressed, but more than that, I'm having fun. You know, I go into work in about 8 hours, so any kind of positive energy I can get, I'm down with. It is going to be hard for me to go to sleep after listening to this, though. This is like caffeine in audio form.
Well, the beat goes up and down. Let me open the door. Elevator operator. Elevator operator.
Okay, and the elevator leaving the building and going into space. That reminded me of Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, the sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. If anyone knows those books, awesome. Someone understands my reference, but it's like the Great Metal Elevator. Uh, I kind of want to see where that elevator is going. This seems like the beginning of a saga. Um, so here is what I like about Electric Callboy. A lot of things. Okay, like songwriting is good. The performances are great. So much fun. So much energy. Um, but I especially like how they are kind of satirizing metal in general. Metal, it tends to be very dark, as I mentioned, but it also tends to be really dramatic. Focus on big things, whether it's singing about the evils of war, or it's talking about fighting dragons, or big war, dogfights in space, or just crazy stuff, epic historical battles, things like that. These guys just made a 3-minute song about an elevator operator, a guy who pushes a button to make a box in a building go up and down. That I don't know if they're doing it intentionally, but that is like literally like a satirization of metal, and I love it because sometimes metal bands can take themselves too seriously, and kind of a band like Electric Callboy here can kind of sort of remind you that it's okay to be ridiculous. Just go with it, own the ridiculousness. And I grew up in the '80s, and the general vibe of a lot of the stuff that you heard on the radio tended to be pretty positive, pretty uplifting. So Electric Callboy gives me big '80s vibes, but they've married that to some very modern sounds and some very modern styles of metal, and I'm here for it. So, uh, Electric Callboy fans, do you guys have a name? Is there a cute name for the Electric Callboy fan base? I'm just curious. But yeah, I'm down for suggestions. Let me know what other songs you'd like to see me react to because, yeah, this is something I would actually look forward to reacting to coming back from work. Not, I guess I should have put my foot in my mouth there. I love reacting to music, period. But when it's something like this, when it's so upbeat and energetic, that's can sort of give me a shot on the arm. I could probably do 10 more reactions off of the energy I'm getting from this. So, yeah, before I dig myself any deeper, thank you guys very much. I love the song, love the energy, love how upbeat it was, and I love just the random silliness of it. And I think we should all embrace that. Danny and I talk about mental health all the time. Mental health is very real. Need to be a part of the start. Need to talk about it. Need to make others feel comfortable talking about it. But laughter, along with music, those are the best medicines you can have. Just a good laugh will cure a lot. So, yeah, don't take yourself too seriously, guys. Laugh whenever you can. Enjoy yourself. Music is your best support group. Listen to it frequently. Sometimes it's someone like Maynard James Keenan from Tool taking you by the hand and walking you through the darkest parts of your subconscious. Sometimes it's Electric Callboy singing a crazy techno death metal song about riding in an elevator. Room for everything. Thank y'all very much. Be seeing you around. Elsie, you're awesome. Thank you.